So we chat with agency owners all day, every day. And one of our goals is to help them identify if they need an account manager or not, when's the right timing, what the role looks like inside of their agency. So hopefully we can kind of give you a peek behind the curtain of how we walk agencies through this decision-making inside their agency and also here at Dot & Company.
Welcome to the Happy Clients Podcast, brought to you by Dot & Company. Whether you're a virtual assistant, an agency owner, or a client-facing account manager, we all deal with clients. Lucky for you, client management is what we do best. Now, let's dig in, chat cam life, and have some fun along the way. Cheers to happy clients.
Oh, obviously agencies are coming to us all the time with, problems that client account management can solve. But I think kind of what makes our process just so special is that we really dive in to figure out, this isn't just like a person that can come in and be really awesome at communication. Like, our people are so valuable inside of digital marketing agencies. So I think it's kind of twofold. And what we'll talk about today is definitely what are the pain points when people come to us, when agency owners come to us, and then kind of how we solve those problems in a really kind of functional and super efficient way.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things, and I guess the biggest red flag when agencies come to us, is they'll say things like, I have this pipeline of people waiting to work with us at the agency, but we can't take any more clients because I'm doing it all myself, or I don't have the bandwidth, or the team doesn't have the bandwidth to take on these clients. And that is such a red flag for us when we're thinking about, do you need an account manager or not? That is an absolute yes. When your business can't grow because you don't have this person in place, that is definitely something that needs to happen sooner than later.
And I'd even piggyback on that a little bit when agency owners come to us knowing that really kind of supported client is such a valuable piece to moving their business forward, right? They're like, I know clients need help, they need support, they need this regular communication, this nurture, but I can't do it and they're just going to leave because they're unhappy, or we can't really keep those relationships strong and move the business forward. So it's definitely the sort of, I guess it's a bottleneck, but definitely the pain point of agency owners when they're coming and hopping on those sales calls with us.
And I think a big thing for the agencies that chat with us is that a lot of times the agency owner is still doing all that account management work, right? They're like, I'm spending half of my day, 3/4 of my day, writing people back, getting reports ready, doing onboarding calls, kickoff calls, briefing in the team, project management. And they're like, I need to be doing sales. I need to be doing marketing, strategy, all these big ticket things that they just feel they're just in the grind. And they're like, I don't even know how to get out of this. And that is the time when we would say, you need a really, really great account manager to come in, because they can actually take most of that off of your plate. So if you're in a situation where you're like, I'm doing all the account management, I can't grow my business because I'm too busy, then that is the time when we would definitely check, you need an account manager.
And also that they're not doing it well. People will come to us and they're like, it takes me 3 hours to write an email, and that's not a good use of my time. Where this is our jam. This is our stroke of genius. We are experts here. Like, writing an email, that brings us so much joy, and we have templates and we can whip it out in 2 minutes, and it's really good. So even not having time, but also not being so good at it also kind of delays their sort of next step in business.
Yeah.
So I think those are two major sort of, I guess we're talking pain points, but those are definitely why people are coming to us.
So if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, one, I'm doing all the client account management work, project management, I can't grow because we don't have bandwidth, and I feel like no one else can do as good of a job as me. Well, then all these things, we would tell you it's time to bring on an account manager.
So agency owners are also coming to us with really awesome people on their team. They have a great media buyer, they have a great sort of salesperson, and they can see them in the client account management role, but they need just a little bit of a boost to get there. Or how great would it be to combine all these things, sales and media buying and CAM all together into one role. And you have a person on your team, but they just need sort of the DOT method. They need the training in client account management. And that's where we can help too. So agency owners are coming to us wanting to continue working with their current employees, invest in these people. And that's when we certainly talk about training. And Taylor, maybe you just go into what that looks like for different agencies who kind of do have that person in their agency right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually met with an agency this morning who has an account manager. They just brought them on. She has a bunch of experience client facing, but he wanted to make sure that her level of expertise was kind of where we're at. So we talked about kind of the best options for them, and one-on-one coaching and mentorship was the route that I recommended. And when that is the best option for agencies who already have an account manager, is when they're already in place, they're talking to clients, they're managing clients, but maybe there's some ways that we can be optimizing the whole account management process. Maybe it's, how often are you communicating with clients? What are you saying? How are you sending reports to clients? How are your monthly strategy sessions looking? What does your project management software look like? There's so many things that we've figured out over the last number of years inside working with hundreds of agencies, is what works and what doesn't work. So
Mhm.
the coaching program is really meant to be a mentorship for your account manager, because they are client facing. They're on the front end of the agency, and there's, some rough waters sometimes that they have to navigate. So that coaching and mentorship is super helpful. But on the back end for the team, like, the account management system needs to be nailed down so that you can scale and that your current team can take on more clients and that you don't kind of hit this plateau. So the coaching and mentorship is definitely a really great option if you already have an account manager.
And I think if we say, why are agencies coming to us? What's the pain point? The pain point is, I've put a lot of work into perfecting this person, and their media buying is really awesome, but they need some help when talking to clients. So that's when agency owners are, should we hire a CAM? And the sales team is like, you definitely could, but if you have this really great candidate and they have some more bandwidth, let's really build them up. Let's get them trained. They know your business, they know you. They want to keep their job and keep growing inside their job. So it's a really great asset to have when those kind of key people are already working in your agency.
Mhm. So if this is you, definitely reach out. We do a lot of coaching and mentorship. We can definitely help there. Or we have CAM School, which is Client Account Manager School, 7 modules. Basically, they will learn everything they need to know about premium account management. But if you're looking to get that hand holding, get that mentorship, kind of like a personal trainer, then our training
Mhm.
programs are going to be the best option. But either way, we are happy to help. Taking a quick pause on today's episode to talk to you about the beginning of a referral worthy client experience. I want to introduce you to our complete onboarding package for digital marketing agencies. So this isn't your first rodeo. You know the client experience can make or break a project. Forget the blood, sweat, and tears that you and your team have poured into a project. If the client doesn't feel as important as their project, you won't land those referrals your business is banking on. But who has the time to baby their clients when they promise them the results? The good news is onboarding your clients is the beginning of that referral-worthy client experience and your secret to repeat clients. And in the complete onboarding package, we're showing you how to onboard your clients like professional client account managers. That's us. So what is the complete onboarding package? It is everything you need to know about onboarding. As dedicated client account managers for some of the world's most successful digital marketing agencies, we've onboarded more clients than we can count. We've tried and tested and retested our process to get it perfect. And that is now this complete onboarding package. From the sales call to the launch, the complete onboarding package shows you how we onboarded clients into digital marketing agencies step by step, including the exact tools and templates we use with real clients. You'll get a 24 step-by-step guide, 22 in-depth video tutorials, and more than 18 tools and templates, so you can take action right away, swipe, and implement right into your agency. So if you are an agency, make sure you head over to clientaccountmanager.com/onboarding to get your hands on the complete onboarding package. So if that is the case, well, then this next step will hopefully help you. Let's talk about how we personally find really amazing account managers for our team. These are, our secrets. We will spill them with you. Let's talk about our hiring process, because Katie, you are the one who kind of oversees this entire process.
And I think it's really easy to list off the job description. This is what we're looking for. And then there's kind of like go-to qualifications and credentials. But I think it's really important to understand the role and what we're doing with client account management and how we can offer that expert service, kind of like we were talking about. So it does take a while. There's many steps, but we do get to these really awesome candidates that can deliver not only to Dot and Company, you call it Dot vibes, but they are really beneficial pieces to any agency, wherever that might be. So we are everywhere. We've tried it all. But I would say there's some heavy hitters. And as much as I hate to say it, Indeed is always at the top of the list. So Indeed, all socials, LinkedIn especially. And then also we run ads. So we are on Facebook and Instagram, kind of promoting hiring. But, I always ask our potential client account managers, where did you hear about Dot? And it's always, I read about it somewhere, usually on Indeed, visited your site, got served the ad, and all those layers coming together are so important. You can't just post in Indeed and think that it's going to win the race. Posting Indeed is just such a really awesome platform it sounds like a promotion for Indeed. Indeed is such a great platform to reach people. And then kind of once they're in, then we have the tools and the nurturing to really get them to apply and feed them ads and get on our list, hopefully, and all that good stuff that we have. So top would be Indeed, but not Indeed standing alone. Top, Indeed, Instagram, Facebook, all the things together.
And then it goes to an application.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Exactly. So in those posts, there's a landing page that people go to, which is specifically for client account management hiring, and they get all the details. And then the link is there as well to kind of fill out that application.
So inside the application, what are the things that you're looking for? What's important when hiring a really good account manager?
So we're kind of getting a feel for it, right? We want to know if they have marketing experience. We want to know how many years of digital marketing experience do they have? Do they run their own business? Are they self-employed? Those are good questions for us to get a feel for, because it's a balance for us. We love that independent, that entrepreneurial spirit, but also want to be top priority in people's lives. So we kind of need to get these details too. So marketing experience for sure. Are you working for somebody right now? Expectations on salary and start dates are always important as well. But I would say definitely we want to not only get that marketing top or sort of on our plates or out of the way, we want to know that they have marketing experience. And then we do kind of dive into these digital marketing questions that are a little more detailed. So not only do you say you have marketing experience, but you actually are kind of answering these questions that clients bring up in a really sort of client-facing way.
So ad application, for context, we get over 600 applications a month to work here at Dot. So you can imagine this is a beast. Then what comes after the application?
And I will say by default, some of those 600 are just going to not be great candidates. If you don't have experience, if you don't have the right experience, if you kind of flunk on different questions in the application, we are going to that's how we get to the unicorn status, right? So after the application, we have an awesome automatic sort of communication that comes from our team, and they're sent the assessment, which is definitely more in depth, more details. And I think we could probably go through it all for sure. It's a really great tool. But I think the reason why we do, I know the reason why we do this is because we need to see that these people are really invested in Dot and Company, moving their career forward. This is a remote job that requires people to be kind of self-led, self-driven. You need to get up and do it all yourself. We can't micromanage you, nor do we want to. So we have to really see that these people are moving quickly. They want the application, they want the assessment, they want to work for Dot and Company. And I think by the time they get to the assessment, that's where we can really see not only kind of how their experience fits into the role, but also kind of their love and their zest for wanting this role. If you have the assessment for 2 weeks and have had no movement on it, we don't really love that. So, if you get it and it's back to us the next day, that's a great sort of flag to us, I guess, not flag, cue to us to really see that you're doing your part. So when you're in front of agencies and when you are working with different clients, we really have that loyalty. But that sounds like really sort of mafia or something, but that sort of we have that really great trust in our candidates that they want this job. They know what it entails. We've been so transparent through this whole thing, which brings us to assessment and then, green light go. Cam school, which is pretty cool. So we're really showing our cards at this point. We're all in and we want our cams to be too.
Yeah. So ad, application, assessment. Then they go into CAM school, which is our client account manager school that was developed to train our own team. So they get access to that. And they also get an invite to interview with Katie. So interview number 1. By interview number 1, they have to have module 3 complete. Is it 3, Katie? Yeah.
We just started that actually. I'm going to pause this, put a pin in this, but go back to the assessment where we actually ask for videos, which I think is a really important thing to acknowledge. So we asked 2 questions and they're to give us a Loom video, which I think shows how they present much like this in a Zoom call in some sort of client facing environment, which is nice when we don't get to meet people face to face all the time. So video is super important.
That was really crucial.
Yeah, I think it really lets us just get to know them more and that trust can keep building, but we can really see how they would be on a client meeting or an agency meeting, which, we're not there in the background. So it is good insight for sure.
So then interview number 1 with Katie while they're going through camp school.
I was
so
like,
Katie, these interviews are like 45 minutes generally, and I watch them so I know exactly what happens.
So then module 1, 2, and 3, they're again kind of doing the work, leaning into our take on digital marketing. Of course, we want them to understand marketing, but this is kind of how it works in the account management world. And then, they're giving us assignments too. So we're seeing those sort of written communications, more videos above and beyond. There's all these things we're looking for. Do you have doc vibes? Do you understand that we kind of communicate in a certain way that clients and agencies love? So there's kind of subtle pieces of those, I would say assessment, but also of CAM school that we want everybody to really absorb. And I think you do that when you're all in and you're excited about the interview and you're doing all the things that we love to see. So maybe even Taylor, if you want to take your perspective on what maybe sort of happens in CAM school or the next steps, they have an interview with me. I'm doing a gut check for sure. I want to make sure they're professional. They are kind of checking off all our boxes. They're doing CAM school. Then they're over to Taylor. And what are you looking for on that interview, Taylor? They're mostly done CAM school. They're, 99% in at this time.
Yeah. So Katie's interview is like the first step into meeting somebody at DOT, like face to face. And she's looking for like all the things, making sure they check all the boxes, gut check. But if she has any reservations, she's going to let me know. And then I'm looking for those on the call, whether I agree or disagree. And it kind of happens, we generally align, but like sometimes I'm like, no, I think this is fine. Or yeah, no, I don't think this is okay. So I'm looking for things like, how are they showing up on the call? Are they professional? Do they have the experience? And what I'm really looking for is, can I put this person in front of an agency? And if they don't have the experience, if they are not confident, if they can't speak to results of clients and all these things, and it's going to be a no. And it's fortunate, even if these people are amazing, and this happens a lot, they're amazing people, but they don't have the experience that we need to put them in front of agencies. So that's really what I'm looking for from a sales perspective. And then of course, kind of making that final decision, like, is this person going to fit with our culture or not? Like, would I want to sit down and hang out with this person? Yes or no? And really that's kind of my final gut check. So at that stage, they've completed up to module 5 inside CAM school. They have to have submitted some assessments. So I'll also check in with our team and say, like, how did they do on the assessments? How are things going? We have 4 or 5 of us who are working on the hiring system. So like, before anyone gets hired, they've touched 5 different people's inboxes and they've, had to get checks from everybody. But then after that final interview, my next steps are, okay, you must finish CAM school, you have to pass. And then Katie will kind of take it from there in terms of hiring next steps. So this process generally takes 4 to 8 weeks.
I think it could be tricky. If that candidate isn't currently working, they could just crush it in, 3. We've seen it crushed in as many as 2. But yeah, I say that 6 weeks is a good average of time that this takes, which we're into. Like, we have this in our process. We get it. It's not an overnight thing, but it's because we're putting really smart, really great, really expertise-y type people in front of digital marketing agencies. And I did want to make the point too, like this isn't something that is turnkey. We're not grooming people to be all the same sort of person. I think what we're doing is deciphering that these people can work in an agency, adapt to different sort of moving pieces, and really have the confidence to speak to the marketing piece. That's why we love to see the marketers come through, because clients love it. Agency owners don't want to have to run through business manager, Google Analytics every time before a meeting. We understand that. So there's things that, we bring to the table, but it's not turnkey in terms of agency and culture and what you're doing. We know the systems will make a process, but there is a curve that, the CAM that's coming into your agency is learning with other team members and how to improve and strategically thinking about managing business or the working business even that much better. So I think that's important too. We're looking for skills. It's not all the same person. It's not all the same avatar. There's different skills that can really benefit different agencies.
So if you're in the market for an account manager, there you go. That's our secret sauce. It's not short. It's very long. It's a lot of hands in the pot. But I mean, if you're looking for somebody that's going to be managing your clients, you need to go through this much effort. So that's a look at our hiring process. The next thing when it comes to determining, do you need an account manager for your agency, is timing. So, when you're growing your agency, you want to have momentum, but you also don't want to hire an account manager too early, because if you don't have the clients to sustain the salary of an account manager, that's going to kind of ruin your momentum. And we've actually seen it a number of times. Agencies have come to us. They don't have any clients yet. They want an account manager in place before they bring on clients because they don't want to do that. And that's kind of a tricky situation because A, we need clients to manage, but B, we want to make sure that the agency has momentum to grow and that we're not going to be stopping their growth.
Some proof in the pudding there, right? We want to make sure they have clients, they have a good roster, they have a good sort of track record, and they're in a really good place. I think we have learned that lesson, like, oh, let's start a business and get a client account manager in, but that is not really beneficial, I think, to the business or to us. Usually CAMs, they just don't have anything to work with at that point.
Yeah.
So they need to sort of have something established before working with a client account manager. But we do always say, I think we've said in podcasts before, if you do push it out a year, maybe 2024 is when I'll get a CAM. Well, no, if you're growing and you're thriving right now, that is definitely the time to get a CAM, because that's a whole year of missed opportunity. So if you're kind of well established, you have some momentum, you have a great sort of business plan and development plan, you definitely should have a CAM, because they can help so much and really lead you to that growth, which is awesome.
Exactly. And some agencies who are kind of in the boat of they don't have clients yet, they'll come in, they'll purchase our onboarding package so that they can put the systems in place, because that's kind of a big blocker for a lot of agencies. Are like, but I don't have the systems. That's fine. Download ours. And then in a month, 2 months, when you have a bunch of clients, then you bring on an account manager and you're set. So that's kind of the ideal situation if you're in that boat. Cool. Well, if you're an agency owner and you've listened to this and you're like, okay, I need an account manager, you know who to call. We're definitely happy to help. If you're starting your agency and slowly growing, we can definitely help there. If you're hiring somebody full-time, hopefully our hiring process will help you to add on a couple little steps that help you decipher, who's a good fit or not. But either way, hopefully this helped. And we are here cheering you on as you grow and scale your marketing agency.
Cheers to happy clients.